Hi, we're going to go ahead and finish our 3.3a lesson. This is where we finished off on the last slide previously, where we had two triangles, and the way we found these last couple angle measures, pairs of congruent angles, was we had the parallel lines and we had a transversal, and we were able to find that angle K is congruent to angle Q because they're alternate interior angles, and angle J is congruent to angle P because they're alternate interior angles. We just had to change the transversal that we used. Okay. Now we're given the fact that these two triangles shown are congruent. Okay. Well, let's go through and see if we can determine which parts are congruent. So I know angle O is congruent. Sorry, I should say angle DOC is congruent to angle AOB, right? Because it's vertical angles. Now, looking at the others, it looks to me like A is going to be congruent to angle C. Angle D is going to be congruent to angle B. And then sidewise, AB will be congruent to DC. And then between the single and the triple, we're going to make those our double hash sides, leaving us with our triple hash sides. All right, so it looks like triangle ABO, that's double, triple, single. That's going to be double, triple, single, CDO. There we go. There's our congruent statement for our triangles. Angle A is congruent to angle C. And side AO is congruent to side, that's the triple hash, CO. Okay, now I'm going to be moving through this pretty quick. If you need to pause it and go back, please do so. All right, here we have triangle XYZ is congruent to triangle RST. And I apologize, this is supposed to be moved up. It's supposed to be a congruent symbol in the middle there. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to identify the congruent parts in both of these triangles. X corresponds with R. So those are single arcs. Y is congruent to S. I'm going to make those doubles. And Z is congruent to T. Make those triples. Now this may not be drawn to scale. We just got to go with it. Okay? So it might not be drawn to scale. We got to roll with it here. Sidewise, now we actually don't need to worry about sides, but if we went to XY is congruent to RS, YZ is congruent to ST, and XZ is congruent to RT. All right. Now the key to this is matching up the parts. So if I want to solve for A, right, that's angle Z is 4A minus 4. Well, Z is congruent to T, which is 62 degrees. So if I add 4 to both sides, I get 4A equals 62. Nope, 66. When I divide by 4, 16.5 or 16.5. Can do the same thing with this B expression. That's what angle Y equals. Well, Y is congruent to S, which is 48. Add 3 to both sides. Divide by 5. 10.2, or 10 and 1/5. Okay. We got A and B, and that's what we were looking for here. And we use the fact that we had the congruent angle pairs to get our solutions. Similar here, again, I apologize. Congruent symbol should be up there. Given angle K is congruent to angle D, which they're both right angles, that makes sense. And angle J is congruent to angle C. Find the value of X. Excuse me. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to look at this triangle CBD real quick. If this is 90 and this is 35, if I add those together, I get 125. If we subtract that from 180, that means this third angle is 55 degrees. Now, why is that important? Well, that's important because if K and D correspond to each other and J and C correspond, L and B also correspond to each other. And we need that relationship to solve for X. In fact, I could even write down here, I could say, all right, well, I know this is 35 and this is 55. Well, 3x minus 20 is going to equal 55. Solving for x, add 20 to both sides and divide by 3. X equals 25. Okay? Okay, these last couple here, we have these relationships, these congruent triangles, right? And they give us information about them. We have to solve for a variable. Now, what I recommend we do is we draw two triangles. They may not be to scale, all right? But if I go ahead and just draw two triangles, let's say they look like this, and you can make them look almost identical. I meant to make the right one a little bit longer, but that's okay. We'll make one triangle ABC, and the other one triangle DEF, going in the same direction. I went clockwise around to make sure that they still matched up. I know that A is congruent with D, E and B are paired up, and F and C are paired up. I also know A, B, D, E are congruent, C, B, and E, F are congruent, A, C, and D, F are congruent. Sorry, I made those triples. All right, let's mark down what we're given. AB equals 15. Well, guess what? If that's 15, so is DE. BC is 20. Well, if BC is 20, so is EF. AC is 25. If that's 25, DF is also 25. FE is 3x minus 7. Well, that sets up our equation. 3x minus 7 equals 20. Add 7 to both sides. And divide by 3. X equals 9. Similar type problem here. ABC and triangle DEF. A, B, C, D, E, F. Go ahead and mark my congruent parts here. And that's all written in there based on the congruence statement. All right, DE equals 10. Let's see, DE equals 10. Well, that means AB also equals 10. EF equals 13. Well, so does BC then. DF equals 16. Well, so does AC. And AC equals 4x minus 8. So we got 4x minus 8 equals 16. Add 8 to both sides. And divide by 4. X equals 6. Here we go. This is just the last part. This actually is more a term than it is part of the congruence objective, but included, okay, included. That's the key word here. Think about included as it's, if something's included in it, then it is part of those two things. All right. So an angle included between LK and JL. Well, LK and JL are here. Well, the angle that's in between or included in that is angle L. All right. Now, if we went the other direction, instead of saying what angles included, if we said what sides include the angle, so we're starting with angle K. Well, the two sides that are a part of that angle are LK and JK. Now, we're not saying anything about these sides being congruent. All we're saying is that these two sides make up the angle in between them. Okay? They're the two sides that make that angle. All right? That covers everything for the rest of 3.3a. If you guys have any questions, please let me know.